You know him, you love him. He's the man of the shit, the editor, my second in command, my right hand, my left hand, all my hands, because, bitch, I'm busy. Ain't she, everybody? Yes. Buy this book! Fuck you, Brand! So, yeah. So, how's it going? Being at all the tables and all the campaigns so far.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be that way.
Yeah, how'd that happen, by the way?
So originally, I was supposed to be an Ebra.
Yes.
Just Ebra.
Yes.
Just Ebra.
Just Gorak. I remember that.
I have my character set up, and it's like, alright, it's good. It's going to be a very exciting, dynamic arc for my character and everything else. And it was fun, you know. I was like, alright. And then it was like, hey, we needed one more on Spelljammers, at least for this episode, because Ginger couldn't make it. So it's like, hey, you can sit in, whatever, do your thing. You know, leave school. You know, slide in, slide out. Don't worry about it. You know. So I was like, hey.
Jeez. That's as bad as me fucking playing Tic-Tac with the marble.
Alright, as long as we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it was like, alright, well, yeah, I got a character. I had a character from Jose's table that didn't have it just had bad luck. And I was like, well, if I rework them under the character rules, I can bump some of the stats that were subpar, and give him a new lease on life. So Steve, from the Goliath family, came back from the dead, and just kind of leaned into the Steve-ness. And it's like, yeah, so that character's gonna stay.
I mean,
all right.
You see, he did a really great job.
Yeah.
Too good a job.
Yeah. So
that's the problem.
All right. So I'm like, all right. I'm in 2 campaigns. I've done this before because we had Enigma and Omega.
Yeah.
And everything. But I can do this. Two characters. I got it. They're very different. One's a ranger. One's right now a fighter, and he's Dragonborn.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. If you know me.
He really is. He don't fuck
I'm in Goliath and the occasional bugbear.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He had rage with Gorak.
I got like a martial class because you don't need spell points to throw these hands. And we got I had like where Steve was gonna go with this ranger, and like when multi-classes later, it was fine.
And where's that?
Yeah, he's going.
No.
We're going places.
Let's elaborate.
I mean, you saw him in a one shot, So it's good. He's got a roadmap. So then, session 2, Salt Marsh, had a low attendance, and they're like, all right, I know you're working right now on editing the episodes from our original workflow, which was like counterproductive, but we've learned.
Yeah.
And I figured out what I was doing wrong there anyway. So, all right, so I'm sitting down with the table. And like, all right, what do we need? It's like, all right, well, we could use barbarian. We need like a good, solid tank, somebody who could really, take a beat and throw a beat. All right, let me figure out something new, race-wise and everything. I'm like, all right, I'll go with this totally sweet lead, and maybe he's a little New York, a little Rocky, he's a pretty good guy, Hey, I got him, So, he's like, so that guy's staying.
No, tell them the origins of how he stayed, because that was a legit gamble.
Yeah, so, like I said, I was working on episode 1 of Eberron from the night before, basically.
Yes.
I was like, alright, I need you to play rock, paper, scissors. This is like the crucial game of your life.
I basically
As you know it.
for old manhood.
So I'm like, alright, let's see what happens. I'll be your Huckleberry here, And yeah, this is like, you're in this campaign. No, that happens. So yeah, then I come to the table. We developed Sylvester for Brady. He has an owl cod piece.
Yeah, it evolved from a couple different birds, but we're on a great horned owl right now.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how that works in universe. It just did.
Which it's literally its own thing because it's alive. So yeah, 3 dynamic characters in various senses, even though they're all relatively martial based at the current birth. We have Lead and Barbarian, Sylvester, we have Gorax, Silvertongue, the Dragonborn fighter, and we have Steve, the Goliath Ranger. But the interesting part with the Dragonborn is he's also charismatic.
Yeah.
So I have fun with that, and he has a good backstory. Everything that's been developed, being that he is a jeweler, but his family had its name tarnished in his former town, and as I've decided, Borax, Bronze he's getting his comeuppance, that's for sure.
So, look, I'm glad you brought that up. So, look, as far as the Borax thing, that was really a case of a DM whoopsie, because there's this Dragonborn, and there's this genocide going on, and Steve's campaign, right? And the players did what every DM dreads them to do when it comes to an NPC that's not supposed to matter. They asked me what its fucking name was, and I had to play high spot, and I happened to look at it and went, ooh, Borax Bronze.
At which point I immediately saw through the game, I'm like,
yeah, he's like, this thing's been marked for death for copyright infringement.
Yeah, basically. So now I've evolved it into that.
He's the guy
that ruined my family's good name, and that's my whole revenge arc, is that I'm on a mission to find out who it was, and I will destroy them.
Yes.
So, as we saw in Upper Raw.
No, it was War Brother. You killed him on the ship.
Yeah, but no, his weapon shop and everything is.
Oh, it was
Sharn.
Yeah, Sharn. So you said Brawl. I was thinking.
Yeah, it was in Upper Sharn.
Yeah.
By the Golden
High
Horse
City,
and stuff.
yes.
We went to High City. We went to the weapon shop of
Borax Emporium.
Yeah, apparently it's Borax's. So I know now. Gorax knows that he's around. Granted, I don't yet know that he's the guy. But at some point, I'm going to have to flex my Scott Bakula and reveal that to myself.
Speaking of which, I noticed something you touched on earlier. Like, you had plans for Gorax, you had plans for Steve, and obviously for Brady, kind of just got tossed in there. I don't know if you're still planning on incorporating the story, but tell them about how you came up with the Scott Bakula, basically the quantum.
Quantum leap. So,
guy in the chair.
Being the guy in the chair, and various levels, because
shallow as deep as
you want it to be. The DM has a reputation for fucking with game mechanics and breaking the game and everything else in his own ways.
Very badly.
So I was
like breaking games too.
So I was like, I need my thing to fuck with. Because I also, mind you, I'm in all three of these, I'm in these three campaign groups, and I know everything.
He knows too.
But I also have to separate things, so I don't have, unless the groups actually cross paths, which finally started to happen at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
I have to be able to separate and figure out what I know and what I don't know based on where I'm sitting at on the table, because I move seats on the table based on which group I'm in. Just trying to separate my worlds. Or like, what if I Scott Bakula myself and I'm quantum leaping between myself, and I'm always the guy in the chair, because that is a constant.
Yeah.
But I'm also these three guys, and I can jump between them, and that's how I'll have like above table knowledge occasionally, or whatever else that other characters have. So that's how I'm gonna flex and like really throw a monkey wrench in these words. Though I haven't had to use it completely yet, it's gonna start coming into play probably more so now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I will say this on your behalf, Sandy. Like, he's one of my good players. You know, he doesn't really break the game. He doesn't ask for much. So I am curious, yet definitely afraid, because he's also delving into a bit of magic.
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
That worries me. and he has a thing now, and he's always been hyper focused. So I am prepared to improvise my ass off with this guy. So
the other thing being that I have all knowledge of all three groups. I've defined the dynamic of each group.
Yes, that is true. And explain that.
So, you have Everon. We're the fuck around. We're the fuck around. And because we all know what we're doing enough, we're going to get through whatever chaos we create for ourselves, we will also handle ourselves. Because that's what we do. The Spelljammers is the opposite of that. They will fuck around, and then they will find out what happened because they fucked around. There's not a lot of group cohesion. It's a lot of like, not exactly every man for himself, but sort of.
Might as well be.
You know, like, Steve tries to pull people together. He means well, but everybody's like, I don't know, like, you know, you kind of genocided a planet twice. You know.
You have no moron ground.
But, you know, at the same time, like, you know, crime directors survive. So,
He does that well.
keeping everybody alive.
Well, there was that one time.
Yeah.
And you got jumped in medbay.
Yeah, and they still couldn't even do that right. They couldn't even do that right. You got a 2-on-1. I'm down to like 5 hit points. Like, and you couldn't finish the job. That's not even like flexing the fact that Steve's low-key Superman. You know. So they fuck around and find out. And then there's Saul, the Superman.
Yeah.
It's a table full of people that have all been DMs at some point in their careers. We fucking get shit done. Expeditiously.
See, that should have been that group's catchphrase, not Eberron. Eberron's is lethargic. Y'all
No, Everon doesn't. We're crackheads. We don't have brains.
You don't sleep.
That's the only way we fuck around. We don't rest. And we're like, shit. We need to rest. Well, we gotta do this right now. No, you don't understand.
I need more drugs to stay up. Anyone want to do some more?
It's like, what about this?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we gotta do that now. We don't have. No, we have to do this now.
There was one time you and Skippy were literally chilling, actually about to get a long rest, and these fuckers had to call you on the Cindy's token. God, you guys involved. You literally had to do nothing to not fuck up. All they had to do was just go their way home.
Hey man, I don't need to sleep.
Yeah.
You don't need to sleep. Maybe you don't need to sleep.
I do need to sleep, but not as much as like somebody who has spells.
Yeah. Or, regular anthropomorphic people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I would ask you about your roles, Andy, but we're going to leave that scandal off table. You were trying to meditate this deception check me in real life.
We're just until death. I gotta do it.
We had an unbroken agreement. Well, it was unbroken. I thought we had an agreement that, like, it's cool if we do it at other tables, because obviously I never said that, but I didn't think he'd do it to me. You did it to me.
What were you rolling? You're just like, 17.
Literally, that was the number 2 for a deception check. And I looked and I was like, hey, wait a minute, what's your plus? Because he rolled like a 7, so you got a plus 10 and that. He was like, nope.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, yeah, you're real stupid. I was like, okay. And I was like, wait, no. And I was like, wait, did you just lie to me? He looked at me and goes, did it work? And I was like, no, fucker. He was trying to lie to me. He was trying to 4-4 break
Like,
deception.
look, above table, not 20 on this.
Yeah.
Magic.
You did. Well, other than that, how you feel about your roles?
My roles have been pretty typical. I have like nights when everything's hidden, and then I have nights when it's not working so well. And I'm very I'm severely superstitious about my dice. Like, I have dice assigned to my characters, and I'll stick to that. And then if I do the test rolls at the beginning of the night, all right, well, this one's rolling pretty good, but if I roll either nat 20 or nat 1 on a test roll, statistically, it's probably not going to hit that again. So I either roll this one out or in based on the math. So it's a lot of high level strategic.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all my questions for you. Everybody, thank you. Don DeLuise in the house.